This is over Lesson 5 in Workbook 1. So if you haven't completed the lessons before this, go back and do those before you watch this video. Lesson 5 is over whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes, and how to draw them and write them on the staff, because there's a couple different rules that go with them when you're writing the music down. So, whole note is the first note that we learned. We learned that in Lesson 4, whole note, you just draw a circle. Whole note can be divided into two notes. So remember whole, and then half. Remember 1/2 is 2. 1/2 creates 2. So if you split something in half, you have 2 of them now. So then we take it into half notes. So we split it into 2, you have half notes. To draw a half note, you draw a circle just like a whole note, but then you draw a stem. If you draw a stem up, it goes on the right side of the note. If you draw a stem down, it goes on the left side of a note. Always remember that. If you draw up, it goes right. Up is right, down is left. Up is right, down is left. So, the stem can go up. This tells you that's a half note. If it's open in a circle, it tells you a half note. You can also split half notes into smaller notes. Those notes are called quarter notes. And how I remember those names is if you split that in half, you have quarter note, quarter note, and how many quarter notes are in a whole note? There are 4. 4. You have a whole note, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes. I remember that because there are 4 quarters in $1. So if you have $1, you have 4 quarters. So remember there are 4 quarter notes and 1 whole note. The same thing with the stem applies to quarter notes. Anytime you have the stem going off the note, if you draw it down, it's on the left side. If you draw it up, it's on the right side. So this is your whole note. Remember that. Half and quarter. Whole, half, quarter. So now we're going to practice drawing them on the staff. So this is where the rule about the stem comes into play. So when you have a half note, it's drawn exactly like a whole note. You want to make sure if it's a line half note, you draw the circle straight through. And then you want to draw the stem. The rule of the stem is everything below the third line, so space 2, line 2, space 1, line 1, the stem goes up. So if I drew a half note in space 1, the stem would go up, which means it's on the right side of the note. If I take this note, which I drew on the third line, everything third line and above, so line 3, space 3, line 4, space 4, line 5, the stem goes down. So anytime you go up, and remember when the stem goes down, it's on the left side. So if I draw a quarter note on the 4th line, right there, I'd have to draw the stem down. If I drew a quarter note right here on space 1, the stem will go up. And there's another thing that I want to teach you that I will accept. Quarter notes sometimes take a lot to draw because you have to draw and you have to fill in the circle. You draw a circle, then you fill it in to draw the quarter note. I will accept a little diagonal line like that with a stem as your quarter note. So if I want to draw it up here, let me erase one of these. If I want to draw it up here, that was a really bad line. I want to draw a quarter note on that line. I'm going to draw a diagonal line, and the stem is on the left side going down. So I will accept that too. It makes it really, writing quarter notes a lot easier than drawing a circle and then filling it in, because that can take a lot of time. But do it whichever way you feel like. Finish the student assignment. After you finish Lesson 5, move on to the student review, which is Lesson 6. And after you've finished both Lesson 5 and Lesson 6, mark them both complete in Google Classroom, and then move on to the next video. The next video will be over Lesson number 7.